Yeah, we are going live. We are going live. And hopefully the audio is coming through nice and crispy. Coming through nice and well. I'll check, just make sure it's all good on my end. Which is always the difficult parts of this. Making sure that actually is working the way that you want it to. Well, I hope that everyone who is here this morning, this day, afternoon, wherever you are at, that you are having a fantastic time. I know that I am finally getting back around to this. All right, audio is coming through well. Very good. All right, we got Arts here, we got Hannah, and we got Master Knight DH. Great evening here in California. Fantastic. Hey there. And Hannah says, hey. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here. And we are hopefully going to be able to continue the grand romp through Elden Ring. Tonight, my goal is to take down General Radahn by blazing a trail of blood and fire through the continent of Caelid. And at the same time, do a little bit of ranting. Because I'll let you guys in on something. Yeah, let you guys in on something right here. I listened to something this week that just made my jaw drop from the sheer seal clapping stupidity of what people thought would be absolutely great for Hollywood. And I was like, no. This is not a good idea. This is not a good idea. This is going to cause so many problems. And shame on so many of you for thinking that this was a great idea. And for those who don't know, America decided, stupidly enough, that it was going to be a great idea to put a 100% tariffs onto all foreign movies. Now then, we here at Camille's Harem, we like to stay out of real-world politics because real-world politics are messy and insane and divisive. We're way more interested in fictional politics. But that being said, we have to accept the fact that we live in a world where there are external forces on us storytellers that cause problems, that cause issues, or open up opportunities for us. And so tonight, one of the things I definitely want to talk about, and this will kind of help me to, in many ways, sort out my thoughts, I think, for a good writer's rant dedicated video, we'll be talking about what should happen if these actually go through. The difficulties that will create for novice authors and creators on the internet like ourselves, and also what kinds of opportunities it will create as well as the reshaping of the Hollywood and storytelling landscape. Because as Hollywood goes, so too goes the publishing industry. Books are no longer really separate from Hollywood anymore because publishing companies now desperately seek out the big contracts with Hollywood studios to make shows and to make movies that can be adapted from the books that they publish, and this will then infuse their companies with more money. That's the hope, the goal, the dream, the daring plan, and this is basically the Hail Mary that the publishing world has been doing because fewer and fewer people are reading these days. And especially in the United States of America, literacy is going down. Those are realities that need to be accepted. Not that people should give up and be like, oh, woe is me. One of the things that I strive to do as an author is to create stories that I would hope I could hand over to a young person who might not take the time to normally read and be like, this is a story that will interest you. And then they start reading, they get hooked on my story, and then they continue to read, and it makes them want to read more. That is really what I want to do. When I was a teacher and I saw how few kids actually did any sort of reading, it was pretty soul crushing. And I was like, no, this is not acceptable. Well, and so I made it a point whenever I had students who were like, yeah, Mr. Jensen, I don't like to read. Reading sucks. I would then tell these kids about, like, I would judge what I knew of them. I'd figure out something about them that I'm like, okay, I see what you're interested in. So I'm like, this is a story that I've written. And then I'd tell them about the story, and they'd be like, you know what? I actually think I would read that. And I'm all like, yes, please do. Not only because that's good for me, but because it's good for you. Red X asked, does manga count as reading? I'll say yes. Manga and comics, manhwa definitely count as reading. However, I will say this, is that reading a book, being able to pick up a physical book and read through it, is such a unique and beautiful experience in and of itself. Comics are great, but like the thick prose of a well-written book are their own like really special, awesome thing. So let's see here. Things are right now looking pretty good with my connection right here for Elden Ring. So we shall now brave the screen sharing. Share the screen. Yes, we will share the screen. And I do also want to be able to share the audio. Yes, very, very much indeed. Now, show the window. Yes, that's what I like. Okay, nope, tire screen. Tire screen, yes. Share the audio. That's what we like to hear. And then we should have the eternal swirl. All right, there we go. Huzzah. Most excellent. All right, so I'm right now here at the Smoldering Church, right at the boundaries of Caelid. And before I start going on my merry way, slaughtering monsters and continuing my rant, let me quickly catch up with what you guys have right here. Written right here. Art says, this version of Deltarune looks rather advanced. Oh, the terrace. I got you. Yeah, if you don't mind me saying, I can see the thought behind it, but it's a bad idea in the current environment. It wouldn't work. Then, yeah, if it has words, it counts as reading. ISO says, join the stream, and I heard America. And then you started talking about America. Hello. Yes. You know what? Yeah, the real America is the America that we met along the way. And at least you can, well, depending on what route you take in this game, you could become the consort to Queen America, which honestly is kind of sad when you think about it, because that poor lass just needs to be given the chance to die already. She suffered enough. Master Knight says, I'm for hearing what you have to say about the terror stuff. So again, I'm not Camille's Harem. We are not here to get political. So within the storytelling environment, allow me to start explaining why this could cause so many problems moving forward in a storytelling environment. Hans says, yeah, this year is going crazy always. Yes, it is. Art says, there's a character named America. Yes, Queen America, who is the one that, depending on how you wish to take the lore, is the one who started this whole nasty quest. And I'm just going to get rid of all you guys. I love having an endgame weapon. That's what the revenge tour is all about. Just absolute destruction. Okay. Yeah, we're summoning you. I have no shame in my summons. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. Art says, stuff like The Lord of the Rings is shot in New Zealand for a reason. No, exactly. There is nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong whatsoever with. Oof! I took a bad hit right there. Yeah, there we go. Take that, doggy. Ooh, and I took that hit instead. And goodbye. All right. This is the fun and the challenge of playing a game like Elden Ring while also trying to talk big, heavy stuff. But we're going to do it anyway. So, yeah, movies like Lord of the Rings, for instance, are made in other countries like New Zealand, actually in part because, guess what? People outside of America are able to make their own movies. Oh my gosh, what a shocker. You don't need Hollywood to make an excellent film. So, and if you actually want to get a really good point of comparison about why sometimes movies should not be made in America, you actually have a really good point of comparison with the Lord of the Rings trilogy compared to the Hobbit trilogy, made by the exact same people. The big difference is that big Hollywood money managed to start getting a say in what happened with The Hobbit. And they wanted things done completely differently. Plus, you also have all of the politicking that happened behind the scenes. Peter Jackson was actually never supposed to make the Hobbit movies. Not at all. He didn't even plan on it. It was actually thrust upon him by Guillermo del Toro and done so on purpose because del Toro thought that Jackson was always going to be a better choice for the Hobbit movies, and so purposefully screwed over Warner Brothers and New Line Cinema to throw Peter Jackson into making the movie. If it had just been done the way that the studio had originally intended, then maybe things would have been slightly better. But then again, for the Lord of the Rings trilogy, Miramax tried to mess around with stuff, and then when Miramax kind of fell out of favor with New Line Cinema, and it became a solely New Zealand project, the movie flourished, or I should say, the trilogy of the Lord of the Rings flourished. Get rid of you before you blow up. All right. Let's see here. Let me quickly catch up. Rex, I feel like a Pokemon trainer with my summons. Yes. I says I don't much like talking with people about real politics because one little disagreement, their respect for you kind of goes down the toilet. I find that ridiculous, so I avoid it. Exactly, which is one of the reasons, again, why we try to avoid real-world politics. And you will notice tonight that I am not going to name any politicians or any political groups. I mean, people can infer what they wish, but I'm not going to go around and say, "Oh, you horrible person," because everyone's got their own opinions. And as I actually constantly told my students when I was a teacher, I was like, you guys will never know what my actual politics are. Okay, let's just get rid of you, dude. And I still tried to keep it that way because it doesn't matter. And especially when you're talking to someone who's from outside of the United States, for crying out loud. But in any case, coming back to it, yeah, other countries can make their own movies, and that is actually a good thing, and we want that. And one of the things I find kind of dumb, and this is where, like, the people that I will actually throw under the bus. So I was listening I was listening to uh, I was listening to a conversation over on WDW Pro, who I used to really like to go to for scoops about what Disney was up to, film reviews and the likes. The big problem is that again politics. That channel, along with others, has just gotten so political recently, and so they're like, hey, you know what? This whole tariff idea is a great idea. And one of the things that appalled me is that the people that were on this channel were saying that it was a great idea because it would give them the chance. It would give also the government the chance to sidestep intellectual property rights and effectively legally steal, and tax people's intellectual properties. And they were seal clapping and saying this was amazing, this was great. And I'm like, don't you realize what this means? That someone could then legally go and take your work? No, screw that. Like we have all of this stuff in place to protect people from copyright infringement, from plagiarism. I have published my books, and if someone decides to go and steal my books and try to pass them off as their own, then I have a legal right to go after them. The thing is that I might actually laugh at them and say, well, good luck with that, because I have only sold so many copies of my books. But like that, we need to have protections for the creators. This goes for art. This goes for all manner of artists, from painters to illustrators to musicians to filmmakers to writers to storyboard artists, the likes. Your work, as Art says right here, your work is your work, and that needs to be respected. Now then, the thing is that the tariffs don't destroy copyright laws. They don't. The thing is that there are people who are excited that they might provide a loophole that would allow others to get their hands on other people's intellectual properties. For certain crowds, this makes them extraordinarily happy because they feel like this is a way of keeping Hollywood's ugly mitts, dirty mitts, off of certain stories and making sure that they can't make endless sequels and prequels and remakes of them. Fact of the matter is, once again, who owns the rights? They do. So it doesn't matter. And then if you want to go and you want to make your own stuff and say, well, legally I can, then you just create a mess. And it's basically you trying to find a loophole to elevate your fan fiction. I was absolutely flabbergasted at the conversation that was being had by these guys. I was like, no. But coming around to another reason why these tariffs are dumb. So these are the same people who absolutely and rightfully praised something as amazing as Godzilla -1. Godzilla -1 is amazing. Let's just be honest. And holy crap, I am actually sending myself into the gullet of an angry dragon, aren't I? No, we're not yet there. But we're getting there. Oh, yes, I am. I am so totally about to go face off against practically an undead dragon. So before I go and I get myself killed to an undead dragon that spews scarlet rot, where did you guys come from? Let me quickly get rid of you. Aha! Give me your runes. Holy cow! I have that many runes. I did not realize that. Oh boy, I have way too much treasure on me, and I'm still too far away to do a proper level up. Okay, but let me quickly continue on my little rant right here. Godzilla -1, an absolutely amazing movie, rightfully so. Under the proposed tariffs, which I'm also going to put in a little caveat right here, there is an argument that's being made that they're actually not legal. So so a lot of this might just end up me being pedantically and philosophically ranting, and it leads to absolutely nothing. And if that's the case, well, fantastic. But ooh, yay, Side of Grace. Just gotta unfortunately get rid of you, little doggy. Now let me use Ronnie's amazing sword. Aha. I keep derailing myself for this. Godzilla -1. These people absolutely loved it. Under the proposed tariffs, Godzilla -1, if it would to even be allowed to come into the United States, for example, it would, in order for the people to make their money back, the ticket price would have to be doubled. Now imagine if you go on over to a movie theater, and movie theaters already have pretty expensive tickets. If you guys want to, you can put in the chat if you know how expensive your movie theater is. If I go to any regular theater, I have here in Tucson, I have to pay $15 to $17.50 for a normal ticket, unless I go actually to the movie theater down the hill from me, which in order to compete with everyone else, drop their prices down to $8 per movie ticket, which is sweet. But unless I go there, thing is that at any other movie theater, I would have to spend then I'd have to spend anywhere between $30 to $35 to go see Godzilla -1. Now then, I would argue that it's worth it to do that once, but the problem is that once you've done it once, then yeah, are you really going to shell out $60 to go see a movie twice, even if it was really great? No, you're probably just going to stay home, which when you do that, absolutely kills the prospects that movie has to do well and to have excellent word of mouth, because immediately ticket prices are already going to kill interest because people know that they can't afford it. Ugh, that's just so... Again, it's dumb. You can tell it's dumb. And I don't understand why some people would think, oh, no, it's absolutely fine. So, yeah. Foreign films and foreign television are good to have. And this goes in every direction. People all over the world love American movies and American shows. And to be all honest, it's not just anime that we love here, but there's other shows and movies that have been very popular and very much beloved. Think of Squid Games. Think of the original Godzilla. The original Godzilla was absolutely transformative for United States cinema and for global cinema as a whole. And two other movies that under these proposed tariffs would never make it today and would then absolutely destroy American cinema in the process would be Rashomon and Seven Samurai. Rashomon and Seven Samurai, both made in Japan, transformed American cinema. Rashomon gave American storytellers a completely different perspective on how to tell a story. It evolved cinema in ways that we still that are still seen today. And Seven Samurai was so popular that the Americans decided to make their own variation of it with Cowboys, the Magnificent Seven. So if these stories would become too expensive for anyone to enjoy stateside, you would rob America of its own ability to evolve in terms of storytelling. It wasn't that the Japanese took that away from us. They gave us something amazing that we grew and learned from. And if people are like, well, what did we give the Japanese? My Hero Academia would not exist without Marvel and DC Comics and all of the movies that came with it. And My Hero Academia was, for a time, one of the most popular anime and manga around. And again, that would not have existed if it wasn't that there was that cross-culture pollination of nerdy stuff coming out of America. Art says, no, I'll buy a Godzilla movie collection instead. Yeah, you could afford it. Anthony says $30 to $45 here in Oklahoma. Woohoo! Oh, that's expensive. Master Knight DH says this is going to encourage more piracy. It's excellence or bust. People won't be happy with that. Exactly. Art says $15 to $20 where you're at. Master Knight DH says, I live in California. I can already tell you all about the go big or go home mentality. It's not healthy at all. Yeah, no, yeah. Ooh, and Anthony Dixon, thank you for bringing up the whole thing. Not to mention that we have the AI problem. Hold on to that. I got to go fight a dragon. I'm probably going to die, but we are going to make the most of this. And then I'm going to talk about also how these tariffs are going to cause massive problems for us when it comes to something like AI. No, I want that. I want that, and I'm going to swap you out. Okay. Let's get the Dragon Slayer Katana. I boosted this thing up all the way to its maximum. Using Tish in this fight would actually probably be the smarter option, but I guess I'm a narcissist and I love myself too much. that we're going to have a clone of myself to go into battle against this dragon. For those of you who haven't played this game, this dragon is a pain in the rear. It spews scarlet rot, which is one of the fastest things to kill you in the game, and it is so freaking deadly. On top of that, it's a dragon. So it's got a ton of health and attack power and defense. Oh boy, here we go. You only live once. Oh, not really. In this game, you can keep coming back again and again and again. Nah, there we go. Get those fights on. All right, avoid that. Oh, crud. See, that red stuff, that's already the scarlet rots. Oh, crud. No. Ah! And I'm poisoned now. Oh, boy. And you can watch in my health meter how fast that's going to kill me as well. Ah! No, drink. Come on, man. And we're going to have to, yes, I know that this is going to hurt me out. Oof, sorry, Torrent. Oh, yeah, I should have gone with Tish. Oh, well, we live and we learn. Oh, crud. Oh, and Scarlet Rot just takes freaking forever to go away, too. Come on, my clone, where are you at? You gotta help me out here. There we go. Oof. There we are. Oh. Okay. Heal! A new draconic power is available. I know. But I gotta heal. I'm dying so quickly. Anakin, help me. I'm weak. All right, there we go. Dang, that really hits the eats the health bar. It does. It flippin' does. Okay. Oh, and I still don't have enough to level up. Oh, that's one of the problems of the end game. You're just so tanky that it takes forever to level up. All right, my beloved Ronnie. I'm using your sword again. Okay. All right. Wow, I actually did not expect to finish that in one go. Because that dragon gave me more trouble than Radahn did. And Radahn is the boss that we're going to be killing tonight. Art says, Susie Zilla would conquer it, no problem. Yeah, Susie Zilla absolutely would. I have no doubt about that. The point of tariffs is to encourage local industry, isn't it? So I'll actually, you know what? Let's do a history lesson right here, Red X, because you bring up a you bring up the argument that is most often used for why these things are ultimately okay. The Cathedral of Dragon Communion. I actually already have all the powers, but let's just see what happens when I go to commune. Where is that thing? So tariffs back in the so in order to understand tariffs, we actually have to go back to the beginning. So when it comes when it nice dragon. When it comes to oh my. Yes, I will take all of these. And just I'm gobbling up so many hearts. Dragon Maw. Dragon Claw. Exix Decay from above, which is the thing that I just bought. And Rotten Breath. Oh, and I still have hearts to spare. Yeah, we're going to be eating all of these. Yum, 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 yum. Oh, I don't feel so good. I ate how many hearts? I think I just ate 15 hearts, guys. My stomach is full. All right, so in the beginning, tariffs. Tariffs were a way of removing the direct taxes that was imposed upon the populace by kings. The United States, way back in the day, loved the idea of tariffs. Oof. Take this. Take some of these. Aha. The United States loved the idea of tariffs because it allowed for the United States to collect taxes without having to directly put the tax on the American people by giving them a slip and saying, "Hey, you need to pay the government." But the thing is that it was still a tax that was coming in to the government. The thing is that then this would make French and British and Spanish products all the more expensive, and that would in turn encourage more American production, which back in the 17 and early 1800s was very important because the United States was actually way more engaged in harvesting raw supplies that would then be sent over to Europe for manufacturing rather than manufacturing it stateside. And while that made loads of money for the people, for instance, on the frontier, it meant that on the industrial coast, and especially in the industrial northern states, this meant that they had to compete against Europeans for the goods that were being made. And the Europeans, thanks to their large factories, could create in bulk. So even though there was lots of travel involved, they could sell for cheaper. So in order then, I'll buy that. I'm going to buy that. And so while the, so then in order to encourage just better bit, well, in the eyes of the American people, this is great capitalism, what the Europeans were doing. But for the Americans who wanted to make sure that more money and industry stayed in the States, tariffs was a great idea. The thing is yes, iconic, we are talking about the movie Tariffs. The thing is that the idea of tariffs went out the window during the American Civil War. Not that America completely gave up on using them, but the thing is that the tariffs could not cover the cost of a massive war. So the United States instituted the income tax in order to supplement look at that guy over there. He's going to be throwing pots at me here real soon. All right, here we go, Torn. The United States used the income taxes to supplement the government's budget, and thereby pay for the whole war. If it wasn't for that, then yes, get away from these guys. Not right now. Not today, ogre. Not today. Yeah. Whew, escape. Uh, yeah, it was used to pay for the whole war. Now, oh, who do I have here? Read the message. Stop by the shack. Ah, yes, I do need to stop by the shack in order to kick off Millicent's quest, which is a good thing. Good doggy. I'm going to kill you now. Woohoo! The thing is that America suffered really, really greatly then at the end of the 1800s from a series of economic collapses. What they called at that time panics. It would later on be called a depression because they thought that panic caused too much panic. Who would have ever thunk? But in any case, America had back-to-back panics, effectively economic depressions. Tariffs could not cover everything that was necessary. As a result, the United States decided to go back to doing income tax. So tariffs have now then become a way of indeed fostering select American production by trying to make cheaper products way more expensive than American goods. This has evolved over time, over the past century, into globalization. And so everything is now connected. And that isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it can be a very difficult thing. For instance, actually, the threat of tariffs going back into December and January already started causing problems in the supply chain. When I went to order my books for the Renaissance Festival here in Arizona, my books all arrived late, even though Amazon promised that those books could be published and delivered way sooner. Now, I could just say that Amazon was being really, really lazy. But the thing is that looking at what was going on, what was already beginning to happen on a global scale, the supply chain was already beginning to get redonkulous because people were trying to now reconfigure costs. This is where this actually becomes applicable to us as creators. Again, this is me not trying to get political. This is just very literally the fact of the matter. Let me take a quick drink right here. Oh, it does have a cure. I need to get a golden needle, my good man.
Despite their nigh godhood, but Millicent's suffering can be ameliorated. For this, you are to find
That's right. Abolish income tax? Excuse me. I need to dig that clip of the Joker rubbing his chin in front of him. Okay, actually, Master Knight DH, if you want a really, really great Joker clip in regards to taxes, find the one of him talking about the IRS. It is hilarious. Oh no. One guy's like, geez, boss, why don't we just jip them? You don't need to pay your taxes. Au contraire. Don't you realize who we are dealing with? This is the IRS. I may be mad enough to go up against the bats, but no. Oh, the IRS, they should scare you. Yeah. Yes. The Joker talking about the IRS is hilarious. I love that scene so much. Warren says that this is all very consequential. Someone wants to get into print. Yes, exactly. Now then, let me quickly figure out exactly. Let me remind myself where I am because I need to get down there. I gotta go back because while there's a whole bunch of sorcerers and the likes to find, you know what? Fine. Lars is going to blow off some steam, killing wizards while he talks about supply chains. Okay, so here's the thing. Let's talk about movies, and then let's talk about publishing in terms of tariffs, in terms of supply. So while we don't fully know what America will do when it comes to tariffing movies, other than that it's supposed to be a 100% 100% increase in let's see here. Should I do? You know what? We're gonna do the mimic again because again, I'm a narcissist. Alrighty. Uh, the thing is that it's not is that it goes far beyond just simply double the ticket price. It could actually increase, and then it could increase the base cost of the tickets, and then double it. The reason for that is because even though the stipulations of the proposed tariff currently say that that the movie will be taxed an extra 100% if it's a foreign made story, if it abides by the current rules stipulated for car manufacturing, that means that's 100% increase for every aspect of production. So that means then, if you are, for instance, an American company and you wish to produce a movie partially outside of the United States, you will have to pay the government double for what, or I should say, you'll have to pay the government the exact same that you paid to make that movie overseas. So that means everyone that you paid, all the equipment that you got, all of the catering that you got, all of that will effectively have doubled. Now, it's not even just simply, it doubled, but it's also now that when people realize that you are willing to pay extra for their services and for their goods, they will naturally raise the price. That is capitalism. Capitalism is a beautiful thing, but it's a machine that will grind you under its gears if you are not capable of keeping up. And so, what you would then effectively have is you will have people paying more than double for any part of their film that they have to produce outside of the United States. That goes for actors, that goes for costumes, this goes for set design, this goes for CGI. All of that will double. And as it doubles, that increases, obviously, the production cost, which, if the production cost for the movie is so great, what will eventually happen is that the prices for the tickets will have to increase in order to help cover the cost of every single movie made. Or if we're talking about streaming, this means that all streaming services will likely have to more than double the subscription rates. This would kill streaming, and this would effectively kill Hollywood. And here's the thing, is that you could say, okay, well, they should transfer all of the jobs on over here to the States. I mean, we do have the Actors Guilds, and we've got the Screenwriters Guilds, and then we have the guilds for all of the mechanics. We absolutely do. But here is something that most people don't talk about, is that we are missing the infrastructure to accommodate all of those. Furthermore, the guilds have absolutely and here's the thing, guilds are good to have, because guilds help to protect the talent and ensure their safety and ensure fair wages. But one of the problems with the guilds is that the guilds are not for free. People have to pay for their services and their membership, which means then that the guilds have actually demanded in each of their negotiations that the prices, that the wages go up for everyone. So wages have then become artificially inflated due to guild demands and guild costs. And again, guilds are absolutely necessary, but this creates only a necessary evil that begins to have an increasing cost. And so what this would effectively do is that no matter what, if a movie is made in America or made overseas by an American company, the cost of that movie will skyrocket. Now, one thing to address in this, and this is one good thing that can actually come from these tariffs, is that it would force Hollywood to be smart about their spending. Hollywood budgets are completely overblown. And a great point of contrast is that when you watch, again, Godzilla Minus One was done on a shoestring budget of a roughly $15 million for a movie that made many, many times that budget and back. With a dedicated cast and talent, you can go so far. Hollywood has largely forgotten how to work on a budget, and they need to relearn that. And that can be a very good thing. The problem is that when you force people to learn lessons that they are not really willing to learn, you will get pushback in all kinds of ways that you're not really going to like, especially if you are the consumer. So, yeah. So America is not yet ready to make all of its own movies, but the infrastructure just isn't there. When they do manage to do it all in-house and not go abroad, it will be still ridiculously expensive, but for a whole new variety of reasons. And who was it again that brought up, Anthony Dixon brought up AI. This is where AI comes into play. Hollywood will expedite all AI advancements to make their movies. They will cut out every single CGI artist, every single screenwriter, every single actual real life actor that they can to replace with everything that they can AI. And the reason being is because it will ultimately be cheaper to go that route than to pay all of the prices that they need to pay. And the guilds did not do their due diligence in the latest strikes and ensure that AI was going to be curtailed. And so as a result, Hollywood executives can legally use AI to the fullest extent and basically cut out all of these workers. This will lead to people losing their jobs. So the film industry, no matter what, finds itself in a very, very rough state should all of these tariffs be allowed to continue. Or I should say, if they're even allowed to go into effect. Because again, they actually haven't been put into effect, and there is even the discussion of whether or not it is actually legal. And that's something to bear in mind. But even still, woo, yes, I'll grab up this dangerous seed. Thank you. Yeah, it's just it's an absolute mess because either things will get ridiculously expensive, or people are going to start losing their jobs just out of quote unquote necessity because Hollywood studios have forgotten how to make things on a budget. Get rid of sorry, doggy. Demon doggy. Demon doggy. Where? Ah! Oh, it's one of the feral doggies. Okay. The Caelid region is so deadly. So deadly. For example, I have to get to that bridge there in the distance. I have to cross that. I have to get past that tower on all these doggies. I have to get across that bridge, and I'm going to get absolutely dunked on by exploding ballista fire. It's going to be a real pain in the rear. But that is the route to get to General Radahn. Let's see here. Rag says, yeah, but the tariffs won't stay forever. Which, that is true. That is absolutely true, and that's actually another matter, Red X, that we can get to. Art says, yeah, they've already taken steps with voice duplication. Yes. And actually, Rings of Power, if you want another reason to hate Rings of Power went even further by creating AI models to replace all of the extras. So rather than paying for extras, they only hired like 12 to 20 people, and they created duplicates of them using AI and CGI modeling. And so there's multiple scenes where you see a bunch of people, and if you actually pay attention, all of those people look wrong because it's AI art. Uh, Anthony says, plus companies that are non-union are already jumping into the AI, and sadly, yes, exactly. And sadly, companies that are unionized are going to be unfortunately forced to do AI. Yes, it's just AI. AI is a monster that we can't escape. The genie's out of the bottle. There is no going back, but there are ways to adapt, and we need to learn how to adapt. Master 98 says, yeah, you provided the big point about why control freaks are a problem just a few minutes ago. Yes. And also another thing is this, that Hollywood producers fancy themselves as creators and directors these days. And so they will more than happily disregard. Oh yeah, that's right. Here's the battle that's going on. Forgot about this place. Let's see here. I am going to summon Tish for this one. All right, let's go into battle, Tish. Ah, I love battle. Yes. Okay, what was I saying? I got bloodlust. Oof. You dare hit Torrent? I'm going to take your head for that. All right, where was I again? Oh yeah, so Hollywood producers all fancy themselves as creatives and directors in their own right. Oof. And so the thing is this, that they aren't. So they themselves actually push AI in order then to live out their fantasies of them being brilliant directors, writers, storyboard artists, and the likes, when really they don't have any of that skill. So yeah, and AI enables that bad practice, and it's freaking frustrating. Don't worry, guys, I'm coming over here to help you out. I'm helping you to get to the gates of Valhalla. Oof. Thank you, Tish. Okay, so I have now fully enumerated, not fully, but I've enumerated a lot of the reasons why these will just be bad for Hollywood. And how, again, if you have this in place, and it discourages foreign filmmakers from coming in and sharing their amazing work, then we rob ourselves of opportunities to learn and to grow. Like if you took away Rashomon and Godzilla and all that, Seven Samurai, you would lose so much, so much, not just pop culture, but cinematic evolution, development, jobs, fan base, all of that would just go out the window, and we don't want that. Now then, what does any of this have to do with publishing and with writing? Say the so a couple of ways that this will begin to affect creators. Again, so talking about how publishing and Hollywood are now very much linked together. Oh boy, I might take you. There we go. Yeah. So Hollywood has, as we know, has long since lost a lot of its creativity. They rely on publishing companies to produce for them stories that they can then easily adapt. Where are you? They're there's someone up here. I know it's there. You are. Yeah, they rely on others to quickly produce story ideas for them that they can then adapt and hopefully make the big buco bucks. Holly and publishing companies who have been having a real problem with growing the reading base have decided that it's better to work with Hollywood to make up for lost revenue because they can sell story ideas to Hollywood and not only then get a good paycheck, but then also collect on residuals, which isn't actually a bad idea. It's not. The problem is that if Hollywood is then going to be suffering from having to make everything at such a ridiculous cost, it's that will then mean that fewer and fewer books get adapted into shows and into movies. And as that happens, that means that the golden goose, so to speak, for publishing companies goes away. When that goes away, they can't afford to keep on hiring more people to be authors. And when that happens, then the hope and the dream that so many people have of becoming published authors just starts going out the window, unfortunately. And we don't want to see that. We want to see people actually have a chance, an opportunity to make it. And I know that only a small number of people really do, but still that chance exists. Now, this will then mean that there is the possibility for, again, indie publication to really take off. But indie publication is completely saturated now with like 2 million books being published each year by indie authors, which is one of the reasons why it's so dang hard to get discovered as an indie author. So if the golden goose goes away, publishing companies can't hire as many authors, which means less opportunities for aspiring authors. And when publishing then has to rely on just what few authors they have, it actually then creates a stagnation in terms of creativity, because authors then become incentivized to stick to popular niches of a certain kind of fantasy, especially right now, romantasy being one of the big ones. And if you think that romantasy is bad, imagine what happens when suddenly you have a bunch of authors who, or you have not a bunch of authors, but you have only a handful of authors who are now trying to keep the entire publishing industry afloat. And the best that they can do is publish romantasy. You want to see stagnation? This is how you get stagnation. This is how you get the isekai conundrum, where everyone's trying to do isekai over in Japan, and nothing gets truly innovated because they're all doing the same thing, because that's the thing that's selling. Gah! Oh my gosh. So it's so if the golden goose goes away, publishing companies then start relying on just a handful of authors to pull in reliable money through niche stories, which causes stagnation in the overall industry and makes it where it's harder for more and more people to come in and make it. It would be a self-perpetuating problem of just suckiness. And yes, here. No, I'm still shy some runes. Let me quickly see right here. So Rex, I says, I feel like it should be a rule that if AI is used, it should have an AI tag and say what AI was used for. And I actually like that idea, ISO. I think that that's a good idea. Because, again, AI is out there, and as Red X says, it's a tool. And it's a tool that can, in some cases, should be used. And it should be used, I'd argue, definitely responsibly and respectfully, especially when it comes to arts. And if you're wondering why I only might use one rune and not all of the one, one of just each rune and not all of them, it's because I like my collection. Look at this fantastic collection of runes I have. There we go. I can now level up. But to finish reading what Red X there here, AI is just a tool. If you don't have the skill to recognize mistakes, then the final product will always be defective. Yes, and that is a very, very good point. Which again, I think that this is where I think that AI can actually be like really, really good. And yes, I am dumping into intelligence because I want to be able to use Ronnie's moon. Dang it, because I'm a Ronnie simp. And I like all of my other stats this ridiculously high because it makes me a flippin' tank. Okay, there's another big fight that's just beyond these doors for me. So before I go in there and absolutely suffer, because oh boy, there's some suffering to be had. Let's see here. Coming back again to publishing. Sorry. Master 98 Super Mario RPG Switch comes up with a stellar gameplay blueprint mechanic in Ally Bluffs. That was made in Japan. Art says, sorry, I lost power for a minute there. Not sure what happened. Well, I'm glad you got power back, because that sucks when the power goes away. So again, issues with publishing. So there and again, this is where the tariffs are a double-edged sword, because what I just enumerated is bad enough. But here's the thing, is that again, if people were willing to kind of capitalize on the opportunity presented by the suck, it could actually galvanize publishers to once again reach out more fully to other people, begin taking some bold risks, and possibly opening up more of their resources to more people. And here's the thing, focusing on growing the reader base, rather than just simply relying on niche authors that will reliably bring in enough money to keep the gear spinning. Instead, focus on helping people to read more. It can be done. It must be done. The opportunity is there. We need to take it. And the tariffs can help us along that way. But here's another problem. Book prices will go up should this continue on, especially just with the normal tariffs such as they are. Because anything that must be made at scale or overseas will then cost buco amounts of money, which isn't any good. And as we talked about earlier with films, it's just exponential. Because as things double in price, people realize, oh, you're willing to spend that kind of money? Well, then I'm just going to raise the price even more. And so things just keep becoming more and more and more expensive, which just cripples the creative process. Haha, there you are. I don't want to fight you two. I'm going to leave you right down there. Oh, I hate these things. I hate fighting them. Oh, yeah, sorry, I have to open up that door from the other direction. Yeah, in any case, continuing on. So books will start going up in cost. And as someone who sells through Amazon, so I publish and sell all my books through Amazon. Amazon has already been increasing the prices of everything. And so what that means is that as books, if they're not made in Washington, which is where they have their main publishing house, if they're not made in Washington, especially if they're made for people ordering from outside of the US, the price will go up. It could even double in some cases, or more than that, which would be really, really bad. Then shipping costs go up. As things become more expensive, so too does the insurance cost. The insurance cost goes up. And for freight as well, the cost goes up as costs go up. And so it's like, oh, so like if you were shipping 10,000 books worth like $60,000. Those are incredibly cheap books. But let's just say you were shipping $60,000 worth of books. The insurance would then be for $60,000, and then the pricing for the freight would be, okay, you're shipping so much poundage and this is how much it costs, therefore we will charge you this much for the shipping. So you're effectively actually spending over $120,000 to ship. Now, when you begin to place the tariffs on it, it could pump the price up to over $240,000, which means now that the books have to triple or quadruple in price in order to sell, or at least to make the profit that you need them to make. Now, most people won't do that because that would kill any chances of getting any sales, but they will still up the cost, which now means that me, as someone who tries to sell my books at an affordable cost, anywhere between $15 to $20, which, if you want to make good money on Amazon, you need to sell your books at $25 per pop. That's expensive. That's an expensive book. And that's for me to say, I'm making a decent living. No, people aren't going to buy my books if they have to pay $25 or more, which is why I try to keep the cost of my books, again, to $15 to $20 if possible. But because of the constant tick of pricing, what this means is that I have to start charging more for my books. And if my books cost over $20, how, like, and you guys can answer this. Don't just say, oh, Lars, I would absolutely buy one of your books. Let's just say any indie author. If you're just perusing books and an indie author says, check out my book, you're going to love it, and you have to pay $25 or more for an indie author's book, would you pay for it? That I would ask you guys to honestly answer that, because my answer personally as a consumer would be no, I actually wouldn't, unless I heard great things about that author and about that book. Then I would shell out the money for it. But if I didn't know that author and I'm just looking for a new story to try, $25 for an unknown book from an unknown author, that is a heck of a gamble. And so even though I know people would say, oh, Lars, I would check out your book because it's you, and I absolutely appreciate that, and I would love it if people did, I would understand if people didn't want to check out my books if I'm charging $25 or more, which again is why I charge so little for my books where I can, which means I don't make a whole lot of money off of my books. I make 50 cents to like $1.50. I think the most I make off of any book if I sell it is $3. So that's just something to bear in mind in terms of being an indie publisher. And again, if the prices are going up because of this thing on tariffs, and yes, this is true, this is for movies, but America is also putting tariffs on a whole bunch of other things. And again, if movies go up in price, that means that book retailers can no longer rely on adaptations of their books and their movies to sell really well. They lose the golden egg, the goose that laid the golden egg, and so therefore they must start charging more for their own books, thereby driving up the price, the cost of publishing, which drives up the cost even for indie authors. Now, that it might not seem like a big thing, and the ripples might take a little while to hit little old me, but they can and will hit should these tariffs go through. Okay. I took a drink of water right there from my little rant, and I know I've just been sitting here for a little while as I've been ranting because I fear what's about to happen next. So let me quickly catch up here, and then I'm going to dive into the next horror. Okay, Strike says Scarlet Rot represents stagnation, and Flowing Sword was used to defeat it according to legend. Yes. Art says the Deltarune website updated that spammed some sweepstakes content for the new story stuff for Noel. Wait, what? Oh, I gotta check this out when I got the chance. Anthony says exactly, focus on thinking and stepping outside the box. Yes, we need to stop the stagnation. Iso says, the Lord! Yes, Melania's Swordmaster wielded two flowing curved swords to defeat the god of rot and seal it away. Red X, and you get to play as a descendant of said warrior and relive the legend with Millicent. Yeah. Arts grow where the forest lost wood. Oh, grow where the Art. Since you just brought up Deltarune, I have the feeling that we're getting a reference here to Des. Amazing. Sorry, there's a reason I'm typing this. I says probably not me. Hannah says no. ... And Hannah, here's the thing. I absolutely understand that. So, I don't take that personally at all. That's just a reality, and I'm willing to accept that reality because this is the job that I want to do. So probably not immediately, but if I'm really curious and like the premise, but if not, then no, not likely. Art says I'd pay extra for you, Lars. Well, thank you. Anthony says no, I wouldn't buy. It would be the same for video games. Exactly. The higher the cost, the less likely that that indie author, indie creator, indie publisher will ever have the chance to make it anywhere. So that's it can. And here's the crazy thing. I am going to get to how, even though this causes so many problems for us, how this could open up potentially a golden age of indie work. But it depends on how we deal with the problem that might arise. I'll get to that, though, later. Art says, sorry, let's see here. And he says, I mean, look at Mario Kart World. It looks fun, but $80? Exactly. I wouldn't buy. I thought $60 was bad. Exactly. No. Art says, this is scary stuff. Where is the Noel? Oh my, I'm says, where's the Noel stuff? Apparently it's just been updated. I just got into an area with Windows. Oh. Redx says, yeah, I would only pay premium for a premium product. Exactly. Okay, so thank you guys for your comments there. Time for me to enter into hell. Because if things turn out the way that I remember, something really bad's about to happen. Maybe not? I thought I had to fight a guy here.
Ah, there you are. Took your sweet time. The players are all made up. I'm waiting for the curtain. Let's give them a show to remember, eh?
Okay, I thought I was gonna have to fight that one Crucible night again. Oh, I was not looking forward to that. Hey, there you are. Lady, I would have loved to have met you earlier on. You would have absolutely been a waifu of mine. Nice to meet you, too. Champions, welcome!
The stars have aligned. The festival is nigh. General Radahn, mightiest demigod of the Shattering, awaits you. Champions, prepare for battle. Defeat the general, gain glory, and grab that great rune. A celebration of war. The Radahn Festival!
I admire how you're able to shout all that and not lose your voice, my good sir.
Are you good and prepared, young chum?
Oh, yes.
The festival begins.
Ready as I'll ever be. All right, cutscene time.
Before we begin, allow me to paint you the full picture.
Also, I'm pretty sure Thalonia is Selvis's puppet. Oh, that's awful. The Misbegotten and the Crucible come either before or after the festival. Oh boy. I know, like, I skipped a ton. I know I skipped a ton of the castle. Who actually wants me to go back and actually fight my way through the castle?
Eaten from the inside by Melania's scarlet rot.
Let me know in the chat if you want me to go through that. Because I will. Let's see here. Master Knight says, oh yeah, I made a comment on when there's no character progression video just now. Something to check later. Excellent. I look forward to that.
Howling at the sky.
But now,
Those.
we must make merry.
Those who represent the Elden Lords that Radahn admires, Godfrey and Radahn.
The celebration of war. The Radahn Festival.
I love his Zweihände that he's got right there. Okay, then. A little bit of nerd time, a little bit of nerding out right here. You see this curved blade that this guy is holding? That is not just some video game design. That is a real kind of sword right there. This sword, so I have a picture somewhere of me in Austria at a castle known as Hoch Ostowitz. Hoch Ostowitz is the real life version, of Minas Tirith. And if you climb your way up this mountain, which has been turned into a huge fortification, up at the very top, there is this amazing display of medieval Austrian weaponry and medieval Ottoman weaponry, because they defeated the Ottomans at the siege of Hoch Ostowitz. And there is this replica of a giant who was there at Hoch Ostowitz. This guy stood well over 7 feet tall. Or say he almost stood 7 feet tall. He stood well over 6 feet tall, nearly 7 feet tall. And that style of blade was his blade. It's meant for just slicing through it. Like, you can crush in horses, slice out their legs from under them, and you can just crush people in two. That sword does not need to be sharp in order to devastate. I says it's called a flamberge, right? It probably is. I think, because you know your blades better than I do, that you'd be right in saying it. Does the real version inflict bleed as well? Oh, it does. The real version inflicts better than bleed. Yes. The real version of that Zweihände or the flamberge, that, if wielded correctly, will break your body. You will not feel good afterwards.
How delightful.
Alexander, I love you so much.
I thought I might find you here. By the by, do you know for whom this festival is being held?
Dude, we just listened to it.
It is none other than General Radahn himself. To think, I could face a great champion of the shattering, a demigod in the flesh. Oh, in truth, I quiver at the thought. Such is his frightful repute. But the fear simply assures me the ordeal is worth undertaking. Be sure to get a good vantage, my friend. I, Iron Fist Alexander, do hereby vow to unflinchingly brave this ordeal.
Alexander, I would not want to have anyone else by my side. I mean, I do want Blythe here as well. But I freaking love you, Alexander. You glorious walking jar. Okay. Real quick from you guys. What would you like to see me do? Should I go back through the mist and fight a Crucible Knight first? Or shall we go and kill General Radahn, which is, I mean, the main goal of this live stream. All right. I says, yeah, I just fact checked, and yes, it's a flamberge. Though thought so because I remember flamberge meaning what does it say right there? Whoop. Meaning okay, right there, flame blade. I don't know why it was so hard to read that. Flamberge meaning flame blade, and it's just called such because of the wavy shape of the blade. And it says, not gonna lie, I want to play this game, but I don't know if it's going to be on Nintendo Switch. This game is not on Nintendo Switch, to my knowledge. I mean, I have this. I am right now. I have this on my PC, but I actually have an Xbox controller set up because I play way better with a controller than I do a keyboard and mouse. But yeah, so want to hear from you guys. What should I do? Should I go and fight the Crucible Knight first? Or shall we go and deal with General Radahn? Or should I go back to the beginning of the castle and fight my way through the entire castle and get back to Radahn? So I think I'll have to beat Radahn to bring the Crucible Knight and Misbegotten duo back. Well, I mean, there's the mist right there. But yeah, I might have to fight Radahn first if I want to get them. Okay, so it will be on the Switch too, but not as a physical game. Okay, well, that's good to know. The Council of Radahn. Death Eaters. 13 years it's been, and yet you come back to me as if it were yesterday. All right. Well, I guess fight Radahn first. So far, that's the one vote I've got. So unless suddenly there's a deluge of other votes, I guess that we're going to go and fight Radahn. Let me just first just destroy public property, or private property, actually. Radahn, I'm destroying all of your food and supplies. You better come out and stop me. Kevin from Home Alone versus the demigods of Elden Ring. Oh, that'd be amazing. Lost where forests would grow. Oh boy, I'm Omega has also apparently seen it. What? That's... Oh man, I'm so curious now. So curious. Books. Books. I love books. All right. And hi there, Holy Mother. All right. So, let's see here. Before I go and fight Radahn, remember how I said that there is... Let's see, have I played the DLC? I have played the DLC. I have not yet beaten it, but I will. I most certainly will. So I did say that there was a golden opportunity for indie creators if these tariffs should go through. And again, that's actually an absolute if. There's no saying if they will, because certain legal theories say that it actually won't happen. In any case, I bring this up because, again, for those of you who caught the beginning of for those of you who didn't catch the beginning of the stream, my whole thing is like, I got to hear so much annoying seal clapping of orp, this is the best stuff ever, orp, without ever taking into consideration the actual costs that these could have. But in terms of a possible golden age, here's the thing, is that Hollywood will absolutely have to slow down their productions in order to accommodate for all of these extra costs and rules. What this means... Whoop! I didn't mean to do that. Oh well, it gives me more time to rant. What this then means is that as Hollywood will have to slow things down and recalibrate, and again, hopefully they will learn that they should lower the prices and that it's indeed possible. This means that indie creators have a window of opportunity to capture a public hungry for entertainment. Glitch Productions is already well underway with that, with all of their works. And then, of course, you got Lackadaisy. We've got The Art of Murder. We've got No Evil. We got Gilded Guy, and just so many others who are so many other stories are right now underway. And as people start looking for indie stuff, it might also take them to some of the older projects and bring back some interest in them. Imagine if Murder Drones got a second wind. That'd be crazy. I don't make any progress on No Evil. I'm Omega, unfortunately, no, because this week has been redonkulous in terms of busyness. and I'll actually give you guys a very brief update in that regards. I've been able to make only minimal progress with my mini tabletop battle reenactment for the Battle of the Tower from the Stormlight Archive. However, I finally discovered the key to unlocking how I will create it. Oh, it made me so happy. It's smudged because not Navan. In book, Navani wrote it, but the artist managed to hide in the picture the proper scale of how big the tower is, which is what I needed in order to start configuring how I should build the sets. So now that I have it, I can start doing the math and then do all the construction work. And I actually have a quick video that I want to make to show everyone what exactly you can come to expect. Oof! Oh yeah, that hurt. That hurt. Not today, General Radahn. Not today. Oof. Okay, yeah, I took that. Oh. Yeah, that hurt. All right. Come on, everybody. Ha ha! My horse is better than yours. Oh, Patches, come on. Oof. Okay, yeah, I kind of deserved that, didn't I? Okay, where are you? Where is that big ugly guy in the sky? I know you're coming for me. Where are you? Oh boy! Oh, I ran right into that. Oh man, that was glorious. That was glorious. Okay, next time, do not jump right into the flaming, the flaming ball coming out of space. Art says, dude, the newsletter is out until we finally remember the alternate ending to the Spamton sweepstakes. You posted. Woo! Yes. Toby, my good man. Oh, that was fun. Okay. Yes, we are going to travel to another area. Oof. Maybe I shouldn't already be on torrent, Master. Oh, come on. Dang you. You, my good sir, you and your arrows. I will have none of that. Oh, come on. Okay. Let us continue where we dude. I was talking here. And get away. Okay. Oof. Yep. Okay. And take you out. Wait. Oh, no, dude. Oh, I was going to summon you. Oh, well. That was still fun. And now we get the cutscene. Yeah, don't jump onto open flames, Lars. I know. That was my that's what I did the first time. That was hilariously bad. The stars appeared without end, and each day felt as long as a life age of the earth. Boom. All right. Woohoo! Well, I'll say that only took me 2 tries. I think the first time that I fought Radahn, it took me 6 or 7 tries because I was not doing well against his arrows at all. Nope.
Hello.
Alexander.
It was a battle marvelously fought. You are well and truly a champion, friend. I, on the other hand, am nothing but a crock.
Alexander, my good friend, you went right up and fought that guy, right to his face. I ran. You hit like a coward. No, I ran on torrent, for crying out loud, because I couldn't take the heat.
I can hardly stand to face one such as you.
Don't sell yourself so short.
But don't you think I've given up just yet? As luck would have it, there's a veritable mountain of warriors' bodies right here.
All right, yeah. I think I'll always look on the bright side of life.
And you know, the bodies found here
Always stay on the light side of life. Like finding all of those dead bodies that you can now cram into yourself.
Just you wait and see, friend. I'll grow even stronger. Just you wait when next we meet.
Alexander, I'm so happy that you're happy. Blythe, how did I miss you?
Good. I was waiting for you.
Hey, don't you see, we're twinsies.
Quite a fight, eh? The glory of the clash is shared by Radahn and you. And did you see that afterwards? Falling star right before our eyes. I can't fathom how Radahn was holding back something of that scale. He was a living legend if ever I saw one. And the path is no
I'm actually kind of like it. I am both grateful and sad that I never got to play Radahn pre-patch, because I remember like people were like, "Oh my gosh, this is like one of the hard, like almost as hard as Melania," and because so many people are having a hard time with him, they made him easier to beat.
We'll go into battle again, side by side. My only purpose is to fight for Rani's fate, sword and fang.
All right. Reddick says Alexander literally crammed what he could from Radahn. Yes. All right, let's go talk to Jaren and whoo, man, I got so many runes from that as well. Wait, what? Oh, I'm back here. Oh, very nice, very nice. Okay, so I guess the opportunity to take the castle is there. Shall we? Let's see. I says as someone who beat pre-patch, Consort Radahn. He was definitely the most difficult boss I've ever fought in a video game. Oh boy, oh boy. I may ask, ever looked into Undertale Yellow? I have not. But I've seen a ton of artwork for it, and I really do like the artwork. All right. Wait. Watch out for those ballista bolts. Oh, no one firing at me. That's so weird. Why did no one fire at me? Because each and every time I've ever tried to take that bridge, I've always been shot at. What is going on here? Are you guys just all so depressed that I killed your demigod? I mean, I'll take that, but... Okay, well... Alright, let's... You know what? This right here, this next part of the game, is a spot of personal vengeance for me, because I don't know how many times I died trying to take this gate. Where's the ogre at? See, there are you guys. Where's the ogre? The troll? I have no idea why all these people are gone, but... Yeah, Jaren is still in the castle. I expect that that's the case, but... There should be way more people for me to fight. And yet there's nobody. Darn it, I wanted to commit murder. The things you guys get to hear from me on these live streams. I'll take that off of you. You're not going to need it anymore. Once you talk to him again, he leaves and the castle returns the thing. Okay. Yeah, no, I've definitely done this out of order because I remember, like, when I first played, I ran straight. I ran straight for taking the castle. So I was an absolute monstrosity of a of a man. Just like, I will take it all. I will fight all of you guys. And I really wanted my revenge against all of those goobers that killed me so many times. Okay, there's some bats. Let's hear. Yeah, haha, take that. Will you at least make it challenging for me? Whoa, slow your roll there, Thor. We're barely making it by as we are. Whoever built this castle really, really needed to think about not having a little back door. Maybe, just maybe. Alrighty. Woohoo! Ah, yes, a harpy. And take that. And, oh, wait. There you are. Get rid of that bat. Get that bear out of here. Ah, my ash of war. All right, as I'm climbing. All right. Let's see. Nothing else. You know what? I will, maybe we'll hear, once I'm done with this, we'll check out the newsletter. The thing is, I didn't sign up for the newsletter. I know, I'm cheap. I pilfer off of other people. But now I'm very interested in knowing what is going on. It's just me and the corpses and the doggos. Again, the things you guys get to hear from me. Come on, everyone. Wake up. Wake up. You've got work to do. There we go. All the men are woken up, sir. And I left the door open. I'm pretty sure Jaren is going to be totally fine that I'll let people in through the back door. You know, Mikasa, Tsukasa, and all that. Me Castle, Tsukastle. Oof, I hate you. Ah, yes, danger. Don't I know it? Oh, come on. Hey, what? No, let me out. Let me out! I want to fight these guys. I mean, I'm finally here. That's the whole point, ain't it? Why do I not believe you? Okay. There we go. Sliding in. Just gotta slide in like that. Okay. I know I'm going to fight them, but I'm so scared. As it in the words of Captain Jack Sparrow. Remember, I was going to say Captain Jack Sparrow. Proud to the Navy you are. Woohoo! There we go. Yeah, I know. I cheated a little bit right there. Okay. A little bit of payback. I don't know how many times I died to these guys. Oh, and you? Die. You little slug thingies. Okay. Shall go talk to Jaren. And, oh, but wait, that's right. That's right. We had a little bit of a fight ahead of us, I think. Wait, nope. Oh, still no. Very curious. Okay, well. Then I shall continue this way. Hello there, ma'am. Yes. Alright, let's go find Jaren. And there we are.
At last, the war festival has ended. Brave champion, you have our gratitude. The celebration was spectacular. General Radahn is surely pleased.
And Mikla is very pleased too.
Crippled by madness. All he wanted was an honorable death. Finally, my work is done. I'm no longer bound to this fortress. I have a task in mind. Old business, you could say. You wouldn't understand.
Oh, do try me.
We'll meet again, if the fates deign it. Brave champion.
Let me just say, Jaren,
I went on my way.
that I might be apprentice to the person that you intend to kill.
Brave champion.
But maybe that's neither here nor there. Brave warriors, you have survived the battle with General Radahn. Congratulations. Well done. Now, ice cream in the back. Follow me. There's loads of Neapolitan, my absolute favorite. Which, I mean, Neapolitan is pretty much the best because you got yourself some strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate. And if you get the Tillamook Neapolitan, you get glorious chocolate chunks in the ice cream as well, which just makes it absolutely divine. Well, nothing there. Okay, well, let's teleport on over to meet the lady. And yeah, so Radahn has been defeated. I've had my rant about I've had my rants. Now then, oh yeah. So let me build up a little bit on what I said about again the opportunity for a golden age of indie creation should these tariffs go on through. The thing is that already like prices will go up on all different kinds of things that will make it more difficult to be a good indie creator. However, because Hollywood will bleed talent because they won't be able to afford them, and because they're also going to axe people in favor of AI, one of the things that this means is that there's an opportunity to pilfer talents, which is important to note. And then on top of that, like I said, there will be a hunger for stories, the Starfall Crater, and any indie animation, indie movies, indie publishing can definitely help to fill in that gap. Also, the other thing is that because we know that things could very easily go up in terms of cost, it becomes all the more important to network. If we take the opportunities now to really start networking, talking with other creators, and share our ideas, share our talents, there is a very good chance that we can build a community that doesn't quite function along the same lines as like an animators guild or a screenwriters guild, but that you have nonetheless a kind of informal organization between people that will there's a traitor taken care of. Onward snorkel then. Go on, I'll catch up. Wait a second. Which traitor? I feel like I'm missing something. I haven't, because it's been so long since I last played. Huh. Well, let's see here. But yeah, there's an opportunity for us as indie creators to really start sharing, and we do need to share. We need to share, and we need to collaborate. By coming together, we can start doing things that people right now consider to be impossible. Because there are stories to share, there's things to be made in terms of animatics, animations, movies, shows, comics, all of that can be worked on, it can be made. And all it will just take is for us to get out of our shells, embrace a little bit of the awkward at times, getting to meet and to know new people. And again, sharing what we ourselves would like to work on. Before I came on to do this live stream tonight, I was taking my niece back to her house. And as I was doing that, I was thinking about a comic series that I've wanted to make for a little while. Now, I'm not a good artist, but I fancy myself a competent storyteller. And there are two things that there are, well, actually there's three artistic things I would love to work on. One of which one of which is a comic. Okay, yeah, I gotta get off torrent here. One of which is a comic series that that'll be about superheroes and the likes. And I've got some interesting superheroes that I want to share with people. My working title for it right now is Steel Bullets, with a Superman-esque main character who and I don't mind spoiling this little bit of the story. Who used to be a gangster. He used to be a small-time gangster. His life turned around when he got shot during a bad job, while they were trying to knock over a joint, and he was crippled from the waist down from a bullet getting lodged in his back, which then unlocked his superpowers, and he's then able to harden his body as if it were made of steel. He can use that to help make his limbs act like springs, granting him effectively super speed and super strength. And the story follows him as shadows and demons from his past rear their heads anew in haunting ways, while his fellow heroes try to help him out. Nokron, the Eternal City, we have made it! And they also have to kind of deal with their own things. Like, I've got one character in mind who is a firefighter turned superhero, but mostly because people are like, you need to be a superhero because you've got special powers. You're effectively a pyromancer. But all she really wants to be is a firefighter. And she falls in on this job of trying to hunt down a vigilante known as Poltergeist, who is a guy that can wield the spirits of the dead. And so he effectively is surrounded by poltergeists. So so those are just some of the characters, and just make a really neat, like, long running comic following these adventures and showing how they all come together. I think, and I share this because there's no way that I can make this work on my own unless I just wrote a book, which would be fine. I don't mind writing more books, but I would love to tell this in comic book formats, for which then I would need other skilled individuals and to help me out. And again, there is that opportunity to share and to grow as creators. And then for another one, I really want to tell a story about a magical mage mouse in the style of the Secret of Nim, in the artistic style of the Secret of Nim, but make that not a comic series or a graphic novel, but a book that relies heavily on artwork to help tell the story. And I'd love to do that. And then as far as animation goes, I've talked with a friend about adapting the story of what we got right here, acquire materials, of adapting Old Man Henderson into a series, which would take so much work. But hey, if Hollywood is going to be dumb and is going to effectively destroy their own, and actually, you know what? Here's something that I did miss early on. Should these tariffs go through, it will destroy American animation, in large part because animation is largely shipped off overseas. And this is because of how expensive animation has been made, which, again, this could help people to learn and grow in very important ways. Glitch Productions does their work on a fraction of the budget that Hollywood expects to pay for any animated project. The problem is that it's not just simply, oh, what have you done to help cut corners, but also because of the different guilds that again require costs to be high, because the workers not only need to get paid a decent amount, but they also need to be paid appropriately to compensate for the guilds. And if that's not taken into consideration, bad zombies, go away. There we go. Get rid of that zombie. Haha. Again, just the cost for animation will go up, and this will lead Hollywood, which has already been pretty anti-cartoon, to just not really doing anything with cartoons. They'll have like one or two projects that they'll keep around just to keep legacy media alive, but beyond that, there's no incentive for them from a financial perspective to continue to continue on with doing animation. And that's just, sorry everyone, that's just the sad reality. That's the sad facts. All right. So that was pretty much what I had in mind for Elden Ring tonight. Radahn has been defeated, and let's start having a look into this Delta rune news, shall we? Oh man, I did not get any of your guys' newest chat bits. Sorry, I missed that. I don't know what was going on there. So let me quickly catch up. So sorry I had to restart again, but there's plenty to look for. Oh, and Lars, there's a Catel hint. Oh my. Bragg says the ones who are truly passionate will remain. So basically, from what I get, these tariffs are, it's perfectly described as a double-edged sword. There are definitely some long-term benefits, but have some pretty significant disadvantages. And unfortunately, politics is either tariffs are good and just and it'll do good, or these tariffs will crash the economy and ruin our relationship. But it's important to understand both good and bad. Exactly, ISO. Exactly. And that's honestly one of the big things I was hoping to try to get across with this, is that the tariffs are not wholly and completely evil, but they will cause a lot of hardship, especially if the ones that have been proposed about movies this week do go through. And it's hardships that people might not be able to weather. And now again, coming back to the whole orp, the clapping seals are like, this is amazing. This is exactly what we want. What really annoyed me with this is that none of them ever bothered taking into account all of the costs, as I've elaborated on. And then on top of that, they were gloating about the opportunity to get IPs, to tax IPs, to circumvent ownership. And I'm like, this is not okay. This is not cool. And the idea of cutting off foreign entertainment from having easy access to American markets. Again, these are the same people who are like, Godzilla -1 was amazing. This elevated cinema. It did. Now imagine if you had to pay extra. Imagine if you had to pay double or more to see it. People wouldn't go to see it. And now I know that there's going to be those people who say, well, Lars, you wouldn't completely double the cost of the ticket. No, maybe not. Especially because movie theaters need to survive. But the costs will go up, and it will cause immense hardship. And that's just, it's not okay. And the fact that anyone would gloat over this because they think it's going to hurt companies like Disney, like, Disney deserves this. sorry guys, but Disney's stock went up this week. Yes, I want Disney to be humbled. I want Disney to learn. I want Disney to get better and do better. But these tariffs do not encourage that. It encourages them to find easy workarounds, vis-a-vis stuff like AI, in order to circumvent the fans and the people. It's just, and their own workers and likes. It's so frustrating and wrong. And so for these seal clapping people who think that this is all just a good thing, I would encourage them to think things through a little bit more before making such kinds of claims. Now then, I intend to take all of my ramblings from the past 2 hours and really boil it down to the most important stuff that would actually help us out as novice authors and as creators, in order to understand these are some of the difficulties that could be created, as well as some of the opportunities that could be created from this. So I intend to do that. And you know what? Because I'm hearing all of this fantastic news about the newest newsletter. Let me bring this up. Switch the footage to Deltarune, and let's have a quick. I'm gonna have a quick look. What can we learn about Deltarune? Deltarune newsletter for the archives. Let's get to the point. All right, the May newsletter. All right. Deltarune Chapters 1 4 will release. Wait, let me explain. For starters, Nintendo Switch 2 version of Deltarune will launch on June 5th at midnight local time in each respective region. Technically speaking, this means people in Japan will get the Switch 2 version 13 hours sooner than people in the East Coast of the United States, assuming you can get Switch 2 at launch. However, what does that mean for all the other platforms? We decided to pick a time as the official launch time for everything else, from Steam, Switch, PS4, and PS5, and that time is June 5th. Midnight Japan time. Oh boy. Okay, let's do it. Let's do a little bit of planning right here. So, time in Japan now from me. All right, so it's currently 2 p.m. over in Japan. So in 10 hours, it'll be May the 10th. So 22 days. So in 27 days and 10 hours, less than 10 hours, it will be released. Huzzah. Okay. What that means is that if you're in North America, for example, the game will release on Steam, Switch, June 4th, 8 a.m. Interesting. So on June 4th. Oh boy. Okay. Oh no, I'm at work. At that time. Gah. All right. My life. I'm going to take off work so I can jump straight into Deltarune. No. When I get off of work, I will get Deltarune and begin playing. All right. You know what? Let me just quickly grab this on up so we can read through this together. I'm going to share my screen. Because sharing screens is nice. All right. Present. We will share the screen. That is indeed what I wish to share. All right. Okay, so if you're in New Zealand or Australia, you are getting the Switch 2 version of Deltarune. You'll be able to get the game a couple of hours earlier if you happen to have your Switch, yada, yada. But wait, there's more good news. Buy it once on PlayStation and Nintendo. How did you get a good deal? Oh, such a great deal. I love little Spampton. Annoying dog found Spampton. All right. Trophies. But hey, never mind all the pricing talk. It's finally time to share some of those PlayStation trophies. Pain 4A, Consumer 3A, Armor 4A, Strength 2A, Throne Chapter 3 End. This is just a small sample of the trophies available. As you might guess, the trophy list outlines an interesting challenge. Trophies are permanent, so everyone you gain is an eternal measure of your success. The way things are set up, you'll receive a trophy once the current room where you unlocked it ends. You'll miss getting it if you turn off the game before then. So be careful while completing all 4 chapters. Especially there may be certain conditions where you will miss acquiring the chapter and trophies. I don't think it's something an average player would run across, however, but I really think you'll enjoy the game more if you don't pay attention to whether you get trophies. Amen. Spampton Sweepstakes. Hey, unrelated to all that, do you remember how I mentioned there was an alternate ending to the Spampton Sweepstakes? Well, I finally remembered I said that. So we have updated the Spampton Sweepstakes website to feature the alternate ending. After you give that a gander, it might be a good idea to check out the rest of the website for old time's sake, too. I only consider anything in the game itself to be canon, so there's nothing critically important out there. But looking around the site itself sure is a lot of fun. Oh, more posts? See you in June. Okay. Let's check out this sweepstakes. Watch the finale or see the alternate path, Spampton's Silence. Oh my. Okay. Oh, let's see here. Guys, let me know. Just pop back here. Yes, you'll like this. All right. Okay. Well, let me know if you guys can hear this or not.
Hey, Yenny! Welcome back to the Spampton Value Network, the only home of wild prizes and Spampton's beautiful eyes. Here tonight, we've got even more wild prizes in store for you. Can you believe it? We might be on number 50. I can't count. Spampton Carbine.
Oh, excellent. You can hear
Knife. The Spampton Carbine knife is a wonderful knife that will allow you to...
Hey guys, is this on? Sorry, it took so long for the stream. We had some technical difficulties.
What stream?
We had this
This is
crazy
the stream.
video plans. We were going to hire someone to play Spampton, but it's kind of, I don't know. It just kind of fell through, It didn't really make sense because
you hired me.
What?
Who is this?
I guess we didn't expect you guys to vote for what you did. We just kind of assumed you'd do the
Vote for what?
freedom.
What did they vote for? Freedom?
Anyway, sorry guys.
What?
We're just gonna have to go think of something else.
What about all this?
We'll try and make up to you somehow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't really know what we're gonna do without Spampton. But he's gone. You voted to remove Spampton, and that's what happens.
Remove Spampton.
Goes away.
What are they talking about?
Well, we'll see you guys next year. Bye.
Wait, what do you mean remove Spampton? Wait!
Oh, here comes the creepy sound.
Spampton? You guys wouldn't vote to do that, right?
I love how his shadow is off.
No, wait. I'm not Spampton, I swear. I'm just an impersonator. I'm an actor. I was just hired to... You can't do this to me. Stop! No!
Oh, that is so creepy. I love it. And then a slight zoom in on the Spampton Value Network. Very nice. It's just like in game. Yep. where Spanton just gets wiped away. Which, fun fact for anyone who's ever done VHS editing, that is actually how sometimes the wiping works. Like as you try to do transitions, you could end up with creepy stuff like that happening. Oh, that was weird. All right, well. Okay, well, let's see here. The music. Just the presence just hanging out there. We raised a total of $322,805.68 for Child's Play charity. That's awesome. That's so cool. And there we got the prizes. What's next? So scroll past the grayed out stuff. And what do we got here? Welcome to Holiday Girl 1225's game Secrets, Glitches, and Theories blog. Today, the official Dragon Bladers website was updated with a bunch of weird links. I searched around the official website for clues and found about 40 pages so far. It doesn't seem to be an ARG, as there's no puzzles, and it doesn't lead to anything. Anyone else think the devs might have been eating a little too much fruitcake this year? 14 comments. Let's first check out the comments. Another epic post, Holiday Girl 1225 from Smart Genius. Can I be mod? This blog definitely needs more posts and possibly better. Whoever's prank calling my phone needs to stop. Maybe you shouldn't put your phone number in the username. An excellent idea, my fellow mod, and I made an account just for being a full admin to be more secure. It would be better than mod anyway. Please give me privileges. By the way, prankers, once I become admin, you will be hit not with the ban hammer, but the ban bird. A halberd for banning people. Savor your last moments now. How are they still calling me? Sorry, my computer's bugged. Looks like the admin panel isn't working. Oh, well, I can't give you privileges. It's nice having you comment, though. As for the phone calls, your old posts are up there with the phone number still. Are you saying I should delete my posts? I may worship you as a mod, but that's too far, even for me. As for your computer, worry not. I can fix it. I have my way with computers. Calculators want to kiss me. Laptops love me. With the flick of my wing, your computer will sing. Hey, it sounds like great advertising right there. Sorry for the lack of posting. I accidentally deleted Minecraft. It took all day to figure out how to get it working again. Fortunately, Prank Caller helped me get it back. Now we are playing together. If anyone else wants to play, I'm putting the details of our server below. Oh, that's cute. I think I need to lock this thread as it contains personal information. Thanks, everyone, for your interest. Sports. Does Dragon Blazers have sports? I never played it. OMG Sports. Hi, LOL. You should play it. No. Thanks, I learned a lot. I do not think I'll use this website anymore. Jockington, perhaps? Birdley would force himself. All right, let's click on the clues. Okay. If you have no pets, it's known that there's a rare chance for an egg to appear giving you a random pet. This is the only way to get some of the secret cats in the game, which are still super rare on top of that. I'm going to read everything before I start clicking on the extra links. Let's get the context. It's a lot of waiting for eggs, hatching them, and throwing away tons of cats trying to get the perfect character. Don't throw away the cats. This is why our pounds are so full. But one day I was trying to get the ultimate cat. Something weird happened. A white egg showed up on my screen, but there was a message with it. Special. I was really excited. I've never gotten a special egg before. In fact, I've never even heard of it at all. I sat there for an hour waiting to see what it would turn out to be. Maybe I would be the first one to discover a brand new cat. But what was weird is the egg never hatched. I started to worry that it was some kind of glitch, so I decided to try and get rid of it before it hurt my computer. And that's where things got really strange. No matter what I did, I couldn't move or throw away the egg. I tried clicking it over and over, and in the end, all that happened is it made some sort of weird sound. This freaked me out so much I deleted the game and reinstalled it, but the egg was still there, obviously. But now that I'm older, I think what happened is I made so many mods installed that the egg didn't know what to hatch into. About the time I thought my computer was haunted or something, or the egg was going to kill me. After a few hours of freaking out, I eventually faced my fears and loaded up the game again. The egg was there, but it didn't seem to be doing anything. So I started raising it like it was a normal pet, brushing it and playing it with it and stuff. By the end of the day, I actually started thinking it was a cool pet. And maybe I could try to figure out how to upload it online as a mod. I wasn't able to do that, though. The next day when I opened the game, the egg was gone, with a message that said it left home due to happiness. Usually the message is pet left home due to sadness. It only happens because you neglected your pet, but it's supposed to happen because it's not supposed to happen because you were nice. Oh, one last thing. The egg actually had a name, but I don't remember what it was. It's been driving me crazy ever since. If anyone else has ever seen an egg in their game like this, please sign my guest book. Please, first one gets 100 cheesy points from me. Okay. Hey, Mimic is here. Apologize for my 1 hour tardiness. Hey, Mimic, don't worry. This is like the pre-live stream. This is just me doing earlier playing through Elden Ring, which actually I didn't even tell people this. Silly me. One of the reasons why I've been doing my revenge tour through Elden Ring is not only because I deserve it, but also because I'm getting ready for Night Rain, which is going to be weird because I'm probably going to be playing Night Rain along the same time as I'm playing Deltarune, two very different games. I'm so excited for Night Rain, as I am excited for Deltarune. More excited for Deltarune, but I'm very excited for Night Rain. And I wanted to originally beat Elden Ring all over again before getting to Night Rain, but probably won't happen just due to time constraints. All right, so read through this. Let's start clicking on the clues. Everyone's heard of snow days, but did anyone else ever have rain days? I swear, one day it was pouring so hard, it sounded like someone was jumping on the roof of the house. So my mom called school and made them cancel just so I wouldn't have to walk over. Like, come on, Mom, a little water never hurt anyone, except for maybe deep sea car drivers. Sorry. At least because of that, my friend could come over without an umbrella. Why? She was totally soaked. We had to put 3 of my mom's hair dryers to full blast for 30 minutes. At least we got used to the dryer to make. At least we got to use the dryer to make melted cheese crackers. Tasty. Hey, Common Craft Brazil is here as well. Woohoo! Anyways, on days when it rains, nothing was better than playing cat petters, specifically the mini games you can play with your cats. They were all ridiculous, and every one of them made these super silly-rific names, like Jongler or something. What does that mean? I remember being really into one of the games when I was little. I can't remember the name because it was complete nonsense. Sorry. It was the one that was like an endless cave, if that makes sense. I even made a guide to the rarities of the different cats you could get to raise your score. I still have the text file, although it's just named BTX. That really helpful me. Chances: 8% normal, 15% chance blue aura, 4% chance rock and roll, 0% chance angel wing. And then ultimate 0% chance super holy angel wing. Okay. So before I go even any further, already, I think that we can guess that the friend who is coming over was Caddy, since we get she was totally soaked, and we had to put 3 of my mom's hair dryers on full blast. So Cat, soaking, and if it was Chris coming over, which at this point, Chris and Noelle have already begun drifting apart, so that definitely again puts the finger on Caddy and cat petters. Well, why not? Conquer asks, "Was Lars reading?" I'm right now reading the newest updates of Deltarune lore. Even though Toby says that none of this is canon, we are going to take it as canon for right now. So this is interesting. This is interesting. So talking about eggs, remember this at Gaster, and yes, I know it's not confirmed to be Gaster, the guy behind the tree, but there's a very good chance it's Gaster, is the one who hands out the eggs. And the eggs cannot be gotten rid of in game until you, I guess you can try dropping one, can try dropping the eggs, but the eggs stay in your inventory and come with you over into the light world, and then leave you when you go to the proper place to drop off one of those eggs. Either an egg is left in Asgore's refrigerator and begins to multiply, or you leave an egg over at Sans, not restaurant. Once upon a time was a restaurant, his store, over at Sans convenience store. And so eggs, that's interesting that we're getting eggs, little Easter eggs maybe, or something else. Is a human going to hatch from an angel's egg now at this point? Have part-time Siegel and Toby Fox been working together? The iceberg just continues to go deeper. But then we got the blue aura. Who turns blue? Chris. And then we got rock and roll. We know that we're going to have a rock and roll segment in one of the chapters. So keep an eye out for that. And then Angel Wing. And we know the angel is coming. And we get this further connection between Noelle and the angel, which is most intriguing. Let's see here. When Toby says it's not canon, it's canon. And if you get rid of it... stop that. Let me just pop back on over here because it makes it easier for me to read it. And if you try to get rid of it, it stays with you. Yes. I still find it crazy that there are a significant amount of people that think that Gaster is only a deleted character and will not appear in Deltarune and never be relevant for the story. Yeah, I'm honestly surprised about that as well. Come on, people. It's all there. I sort of feel like there were more though. Like one time I remember getting a cat and it actually lowered how many points I had. And of course I died immediately, so I couldn't get a picture or anything. And of course no one else ever seemed to see this. Actually, I get the feeling someone else I know has seen it, but I just know that even if I asked them, I probably wouldn't get a straight answer. Ugh. Oh boy. Oh. And you know what? This comes back around to how Chris and Noelle had that shared experience in the woods with Azrael and with Des. Chris ended up becoming part of whatever experiment is going on, and that is what's allowed us to control them. Something as well has happened to Noelle, and she is a part of this as well. And it's going to be very interesting to see how that's explained away, what part she ultimately plays in the in whatever experiment Gaster is running, and also whatever fate we're supposed to be unable to escape. Take a good drink of water right there. Oh, speaking of cats, my fat cat just showed up. Hi, honey. She's like, oh, pay attention to me, Lars. Purr. I'm going to purr for you. Please, just give me all your attention. Super fun fact. On a related note, these games even make a cameo in Cat Pedders the RPG, which, like everything good, is kind of a ripoff of Dragon Blaze, just if I'm being honest. Okie dokie. Let my bias show for a second there. You guys should probably play it, though. As usual, if anyone thinks they can find any proof, try yourself and let me know. P.S. About my friend, she came over because I said I was going to play Cat Pedders, but she thought that meant that I was just going to pet her. What kind of game would that even be? So I just made a cat named after her in the game and made it play metal music on the music box. I'll try not to corrupt that one. I still had to pet her a little or she wouldn't go home. Oh, yes. there's definitely the Cattell reference right there. I mean, there was already a good indication at the end of chapter 2 that Caddy is interested in Noelle. And this right here definitely gives me that vibe. And I like the evolving romantic what a hecahedron that is right now developing here. So allow me to quickly illustrate this right here. So we've got Chris is likely interested in Susie. Okay. So then we've got Noelle is interested in Susie. That is very, very apparent. So we effectively have for ourselves right here, we have a love triangle. And I mean, there's plenty of people who ship Chris and Noelle together. So there's that. I should probably have put question marks for that ship. Then we got Caddy, who is interested in Noelle. And then we got Birdley, who is interested in Susie. So what we have building right here is we have a what hecahedron coming together. Oh boy. Say the who knew that so much angst and crushing was going on in the classroom. Susie's just winning the Deltarune harem. Oh yeah, she absolutely is. Susie is gaining a harem at this rate. All right, let's try it out for ourselves. Kid. Oh. Dog. Okay, click on the dog. And the music continues. Okay, gotta go back. Good doggy. And up. All right, we're gonna hit every single one of these. Hey, wait. Grow wood where the lost forest. Okay, so look at the link description on each window before you click. Okay, so grow wood the lost forest. Well, I just got right here, I got Deltarune. So Deltarune windows. Look at the link description for each window before you click. I am right now absolutely media literate. Say what? We're gonna open this as Camille. Nope. Interesting. Huh. It's actually lost where the forest would grow. Okay. So lost where the forest would... Interesting. So it keeps changing. So if I find lost where the forest would grow... Whoop. I know. Spamming you with the dog. Lost would the forest. Lost where the forest would grow. Wait a second. Okay. There's way more windows to the right. Oh. Wait, what? That's so many windows. Of course, of course, the canonically called annoying dog would be spamming the dog. All right. So let's see here. Will I find? Hold on here. Okay. So we're going to do this academically. We're going to click through every single one. Where the lost wood grow wood forest. Lost wood where grow the forest. Grow wood the forest. Wood forest where? Wood forest where? The lost forest wood where grow. Lost grow where would the... Well, something changed. Oh, yeah. All right, folks, that's it. We're just gonna listen to this. Where the forests. More maracas. Okay. Oh my gosh, we're only halfway through. Wood the forest. Where grow wood. Grow the where wood. Where forest the lost the grow wood. Grow the forest lost where wood. Grow the forest lost where wood. The grow lost where wood forest. Forest where wood grow the lost. Grow where the forest with Allah. The forest would grow where lost. The forest would grow where lost. Makes good sense. The forest would grow where lost. Hey, you know what? I mean, absolutely. Where lost forest the grow would. All right. We are doing forest where the grow wood lost. So we are doing science here. The where forest lost grow wood. Wood, good. Grow the forest wood lost where. Oh, lost where the forest would grow. There we go. And all you get is that one pluck. Interesting. Very interesting. Lost where the forest would grow. Now then, we can go into the woods. And what we do know of the woods, there's the bunker. The bunker is the one place where the woods do not grow. Okay. Very, very interesting. Art says there's more. What, you mean there's more behind the windows, or there's more to that particular discovery? I just work my way backwards now. Now there's something. Huh. Suddenly the transformer How weird. There's more on the Spampton sweepstakes. This game is fascinating. There's a lot of hidden secrets in it. Yes, that it most definitely does. So fascinating. All right. Now then, I want to see what happens when we play this. Gain my points. Got my 10. Got my 10. Oh yeah, the blue aura for 50. Angel. And there goes that. I'm just getting so happy collecting all of these kitties, just petting all these cats. I mean, I got my own little kitty right here. Oh yeah, she's so cute. Come to me, green kitty. Hey, who wouldn't want to keep on playing this game? Oh, that was a 3001. All right. Wait, say what? Oh, I got the rock and roll cats. So I wonder if you play this one long enough, if you then get like if the 3000 point angel was the super angel wings. Yeah, rock and roll cat. See, now I'm just so curious. Toby, you've got me clicking on green cats now. I don't know what to do with myself. I gotta stop. Must stop clicking on cats. There's still one more clue before going back to the sweepstakes. Yeah, I've already got everything. Okay. Let's see here. So we got the secret cats. Then there's the please sign my guest book. Today, the official Dragon Players website was updated with a bunch of weird links. Okay, so we caught back to that. Christmas in May. Oh yeah, something. This is months away. I've got something fun planned for this year's Christmas. All right. Okay, let's click our way on back to the sweepstakes. All right. So let's see here. If you click on enough cats and don't click on the windows, you'll get the creepy. Is this game version? Is this game's version of Genocide Snowgrave creepy after grinding enough? Click on what's next. Oh, we definitely will. Oh. All right. Yep. What we got here? Not applicable. Say what? But I want drinks. Give me my drinks. All right, what we got here? If only you had the blank, your luck might have gone another way. No crystal. Okay, so we know that let's see here, because I admittedly have not paid enough attention to the dark crystals that we can that we can utilize. But we've got 2 so far, and we're missing the cape that King was wearing that we need for whatever Sham has in mind. If I remember that correctly. Yeah, the shadow crystal. Yeah, so we're missing the shadow mantle, which King had in chapter 1. So we gotta get the cape. We gotta get the mantle, I mean. And the more shadow crystals we get, the mightier of tool Sham can make for us. Sorry, Deltarune is taking so long here. I have a game I've been working on my time off as an apology gift. Oh, yeah. Toby. Yeah. Sorry, it's taking so long here. Have more of game. All right, let's click on this. Oh, my. I'm afraid to take away a person's privacy. Yep, that's what I expected. All right. Oh, hey there. Hey there, Mike. Or Tenna. Very interesting. How the Dreamers have kept their television off for so long. I'm just, I know that a lot of people are looking forward to chapter 4 the most. I'll be honest, I've been very excited for chapter 3 because there's going to be so much to it. It's just TV world. It's off. That's ominous that's up there on the tab. Let's see here. The blue and the green. Okay, so that's just the crystal. So that's just all that stuff right there. It's just interesting though that there's nothing really here. Wait. Interesting. No one will shed a tear for who? Who, dang it? I want to know. No one will shed a tear for Toriel's power saving process. So I wonder if Toriel will be a member of the party, if it will be Undyne. That is an excellent question. I think we will have Toriel as a member of the party for a little while, and it'd be neat if we got Undyne as well. And that scream sounded like the iconic screaming sheep scream. Yes, it did. But no one will shed a tear for it's cut off. It's hard to tell if that's a K or an H. It's hard to tell. You know what? We're going to... Hey, here we go. We got you guys. The weather always sticks together. Anything to click on here with you guys? Yeah, it doesn't seem to be. Absolutely. The lights, camera. Action. It's interesting that the little like hand appears for just the briefest of seconds and then vanishes. So it's hard to tell if like that's actually something that you can click or if it's just not there. Chris and Goatmon team up. Yeah, that would actually be fun. And also very embarrassing for Chris. Man. That is... Whew. Art says there are other links, but I have no idea how to access them. Interesting. So other people have already uncovered what some of these links are. I wonder, just by the sadness and creepiness of some stuff in these puzzles, makes me feel like these next couple of chapters would have a bit of a darker tone or hidden creepiness. Oh yes, it's definitely going to get darker. It's going to get progressively darker as we go along. Okay, so they're on Reddit. Well, let us for kicks and giggles, let's go on over to the Deltarune Reddit. Oh boy. I cannot. I open it up and then immediately I start getting ads that you guys don't need to see. What the heck is happening with Reddit these days? Players Evil, please, you have to listen to me. All right, so we got the mega thread of the newsletter. All right, yeah, so there's the mega thread. You got the angel wing cats. Here, we'll share this tab instead so you guys can see this. All right. So there's the angel wing cat we clicked on. Has anyone found the super angel wing cat? It's very shiny. We'll give 3,000 points. I clicked it. Yes, I got all the kitties. I did. But honey, you are my only fat, lovely cat. She puddles next to me. Let's see here. By clicking on number 2, chapter 5 page leads you to Deltarune Assets Audio, which plays the Weird Route exclusive. Okay. Interesting. Chapter 4 has a QWERTY keyboard layout. So the suffix of each one leads to a slightly different, I think, code cracking time. Edit all the links lead to E or M. M is TU. Okay, well, the rest leads to E. Thoughts. Interesting. Ram's specific window. We already got the window. The Jonkler. There's this version of the Windows room. The blue tree. We already got that. The Cheshire Cat smile. But wait, if Deltarune drops technically, okay. New Gaster dialogue and achievements. Oh, yeah, see. Confirmation, Gaster. That is if that Redditor is to be believed. Me. Thank you. I put my email into one comment site, press the button. Oh boy. Yeah, so stuff to comb through. You know, I like I like how. All right, we'll stop sharing, and we shall return here. Yeah, I really like how Toby Fox is putting so much effort into getting people hyped up for these chapters. I mean, it's been so long, and I know that there's a lot of people who've checked out, who are all like, yeah, no, like I'm done. But this is really, really exciting. Say, oh boy. All right, well, let's see. How long have we been at this? We've been at this now for nearly 3 hours. Wow. Okay, well, I do need to get to other things still tonight. But wow, this was fun. General Radahn has been defeated. Toby has dropped a bunch of goodies on us. For those who are interested in the ship of Catel, Caddy, and Noel, it seems as if Toby is feeding us a little bit. As Mick said, I agree with Mimic. Toby Fox is truly an amazing artist and writer, that's for sure. Don't worry, Comicraft, you can rewind the stream and you can watch me jump into Radahn's meteor. Oh, that was fun. And I agree with you. Gaster is all but guaranteed to be part of the plot. He is literally the first character we interact with. I wonder what he will look like. Probably the way he looks in Undertale, or at least in the artwork of Undertale. But yeah, if you click on enough cats, you get the creepy face from Chapter 2. Fantastic. Oh man, and now I just want to pump the brakes on other videos that I'm working on just to work on theory time for this. There's a guy who played Shrek's I Need a Hero while fighting Radahn, and it synced by accident. That is amazing. Oh my gosh. But okay, so I'm going to have to do a Catel video before the next chapter's release, just to get that out there, because it's like, hey, there are those of us who called it. And I've been working on another Deltarune video that I'm hoping to have released really soon. This is the thing I was telling you guys about a little while ago. A certain project that I've been working on. The details will be very known to you guys once it is released, and this video is going to be long. It is around an hour and a half. So it will be a bit of an adventure. And let's see here. There's also another video that I do want to make, as far as like more like a crack theory about Azrael. I am going to forbear until we get chapters 3 and 4. If I am right in guessing that we're going to get 2 chapters of like more Azrael lore revealed to us, then I feel like we might get the details necessary for this crack theory to either remain a crack theory or to actually become a very viable theory. And it will come down, I think, a lot to what happens in chapter 3. I think we're going to get some dirt on Azrael. I'm so excited. Concraft, will you reveal the crack theory even if it's proven wrong? Yeah, sure. Because it's great fodder for a fanfic. Oh boy, let me tell you. Concraft SA, have you seen the Columbo Solves the Death Note case? I did. I watched it last week and had a really good laugh. And oddly enough, it proved to me why I'm not a fan of Death Note. Sorry, everyone who really loves Death Note. I'm not a huge fan of it. And that video with Columbo kind of confirmed to me why that is. And the answer is that the show tried so hard to sell me on how smart Light is, and I never thought that Light was a smart character. The show could never convince me that Light was smart, and I was just like, okay. And then what's the also I just felt like, how best to put it, there's certain stories that you can see the ending coming a far away, and Death Note is definitely one of those stories where you're like, yes, I see where this is going. And it's more like, are you invested enough to see how you get there? And for me, the answer is no. I've never been invested enough to sit through the entirety of Death Note. The characters just did not sell it for me. So yeah, because again, a story truly lives or dies by its characters, and that was Death Note. Death Note. Yeah, I agree with you, Mimic. And also another one. This is going to sound like blasphemy to a lot of people. Cowboy Bebop is overrated. It's overrated because its ending sucks. Cowboy Bebop is a shining example of why anime from the 90s to the early 2000s really struggled to actually, let's see here. This goes against a lot of what the anime community says, but as amazing as the anime of the 90s is in the early 2000s, because the animation is fantastic, so much of the storytelling is for so many shows is just incredible, but the endings are always awful. And one of the reasons why the endings are always bad is because the philosophy for Japanese stories until recently, this is a recent development, is that you should always leave it open-ended, so that way people can always go back and relive the story again and again and again. If you end the story, you can never go back to it, is the philosophy. And so Cowboy Bebop gives you the most open-ended ending, with the entire crew splitting, going their separate ways, and you're not sure who lives or dies. And there are those who claim that that's beautiful artistry. My answer is no, it's a cop-out. Because up until the third to last episode, Cowboy Bebop knows where it's going. The character arcs are fantastic. The world building is great. And in the end, you're just like, what was the point? What was the point of any of that? The answer is there is none. And if you're going to get invested in a show that's that good for so long, in order for there to be just a super open-ended ending that didn't need to exist, that shouldn't exist, then it's hard to feel invested after the fact. I remember feeling absolutely betrayed by the ending. I felt the exact same way about Full Metal Alchemist, which is why Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is so incredible, because it delivers an actual ending. And it makes sense. Another great example is Lone Star. Lone Star is everything that Cowboy Bebop wished it could be. So that's oh wait, no, not Lone Star. Outlaw Star. That's the one. Sorry. Now Lone Star. Lone Star is another story. Outlaw Star. Outlaw Star is everything that Cowboy Bebop wished it could be. And it's got way more smexiness going on with it. Oh boy. Mick says also those animes from the 90s and early 2000s, there are some things, elements to them that feel too outdated sometimes. Yeah. Gurren Lagann still holds up really well. Gurren Lagann is really good. There is Vampire Hunter D, which for this Halloween I intend to do a review and analysis of one of the movies. Vampire Hunter D is fantastic. Oh, it's so good. So there are again the stuff from the 90s and the early 2000s. Ghost in the Shell, just so good. But there's so many shows that have really bad open-ended endings that didn't need to exist. Cowboy Bebop is one of them. And then for something like Death Note, you have to be invested in the characters to go along for the ride that you already know how it's going to end. For everyone who's all like, I didn't see that coming. I'm like, you didn't? So yeah, which is again why I love that edit with Columbo solving Death Note, because that's actually probably how it should have been done, rather than trying to be overly cerebral. just be practical. Concast is similar to how A Song of Ice and Fire and Game of Thrones had the thing with killing characters that looked important, only for copycats to come and everyone realize, wait, that sucks. Exactly. The MCU fans complain about the villain problem, as most iconic villains were one movie wonders that were thrown away right after. Oh my gosh, yes. Despite the comic fans clamoring for villains losing for good, Concraft, I think an open-ended ending can work, but by choice, not obligation to the genre. I agree with that. And there are some open-ended endings that are really good. But sometimes certain stories need, because you've already put so much effort into excellent character arcs, that you need to wrap it up and not just leave it open-ended. Mick says, and pretty much every Studio Ghibli movie still holds up, especially the ones that came out of the 90s and 2000s decades. Yes. And actually for the release of my book, The Tower of Seers, later this year, if everything works out well, for it, I intend to do 2 reviews. One is going to be for Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind, and then the other for Princess Mononoke. Because you can't really appreciate Princess Mononoke to its fullest without knowing Nausicaa. And if you want to enjoy Tower of Seers, my book Tower of Seers, to its fullest, you need to know Princess Mononoke. And in order to fully appreciate Princess Mononoke, you got to know Nausicaa. So in order to fully enjoy my book, you got to know those 2 movies. Conquer says, I think Death Note got away with it because it was early in the wave of edgy cerebral animes and was the first a lot of teenagers saw. Yeah, and that's the thing, is that the first always gets the most accolades. Like Sword Art Online. Sword Art Online had to dig its own grave and shoot itself in both feet, both knees, in the hands, and in the head, and then bury itself in order for the anime community to finally accept that it's a bad story. But everyone loved it so much because it was very beautifully animated. The story was the right kind of edge for the right kind of time. It was a good take on isekai using the cyber method, which is its own niche genre now at this point. It really helped to pioneer that. There's no underselling for how transformative Sword Art Online has been to anime and manga as a whole. Like the isekai slop that we deal with these days in manga is absolutely a byproduct of Sword Art Online. Oh boy, but it's a bad show. It's a bad story. Even the creator admits that he made lots of mistakes. Mick says, oh my gosh, Nausicaa, I freaking love that movie. I used to watch it all the time as a kid. In my humble opinion, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind truly laid the foundation for Studio Ghibli. And I agree with that. Also, Also, let me just say this: Nausicaa, the Valley of the Wind, is the best steampunk cartoon of all time. And I wish it was a show, because I want to get lost in the world of Nausicaa. It's just so incredible. Is it the best steampunk movie of all time? Maybe not, but it definitely ranks up there. The Conqueror says, I'd begun to type SAO right before you started to talk about it. Sword Art Online, you abomination, you. Castle in the Sky. Hannah, oh my gosh. Castle in the Sky is just another gorgeous film with great steampunk references. Nick says, we don't ever talk about Warriors of the Wind in my house. Wait, what? Conqueror says, also SAO got a pass from me because it was not meant to be a full show. It was written for a contest as an author's first story that got reworked as a full novel right after, so I give it more leeway from me. And and that's totally fair. Like, thinking about how I've given Shadow of the Conqueror by Shad Brooks or Shadiversity a 3 out of 5. My reason for that is because it's his first time novel, and I want to give him grace, and I hope that he improves as an author going forward. If this was his second or his third book, I would tear it down to a 2 at the best, but ultimately it deserves to be a burning, flaming 1. Because there's so many things that are wrong with it. But because it's a first-time book, and I want to give that grace, then 3 out of 5. And so it definitely is important to take into consideration, into context, who the author is, when the story was made, and the circumstances around it. Conqueror says, if I remember right, the SAO author was still a teenager when he wrote SAO. Oh, now that's impressive. I did not know that. That is very interesting. All right. So, well, it is late here. I know it's pretty late for some other people. So after 3 hours, I need to give my voice a rest and get ready for tomorrow's live stream. That'll be the official live stream with the writing lessons and everything. We will be returning to talking about writing dialogue, especially because there was a lot of stuff last week about foreshadowing in dialogue, and I definitely want to talk about that. But also, the main lesson will be about dealing with false starters. So that will be our lesson for tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to that. Mimic says, how would Howl's Moving Castle count as a steampunk style movie too? Like steampunk mixed with witches and wizards and stuff? Howl's Moving Castle as the movie is definitely excuse me. Wow. See, there goes my voice. Take a drink. All right. So Howl's Moving Castle as a movie is definitely steampunk because of the technology that is in it. It is fantastic. It has a great steampunk aesthetic. And one of the beauties of steampunk is how it can be molded to so many different kinds of stories. So, like, for instance, my book Bleed, Steam, and Steel is a steampunk novel that has magic in it. And that's absolutely fine. Steampunk is much like fantasy and sci-fi. It's very adaptive. Steampunk requires an aesthetic in order to work. And it's one of the reasons why when people are like, so what is steampunk? And the answer is, you know it when you see it. And that's the best way to describe steampunk. You know it when you see it. Even if there isn't steam pouring out of the machine, just the inventiveness that's just so bizarre. You know real physics doesn't work that way. But the inventiveness with these old-timey machines to just create incredible flying machines, cars, ships, suits, guns, what have you, that's steampunk. It's just so cool. Then Conqueror says, also from what I heard, SAO was also hit by a bad adaptation. The anime removed Kirito's inner monologue. I'm not sure if I want Kirito's inner monologue. To be all honest, but I can't comment because I haven't read it yet. Oh no, I unintentionally made Mr. Lars lose his voice for a minute there. No worries. I've been going on for 3 hours now, so I need time to give it a rest. Concraft, I have to get back to reading Girl Genius. It was written so early in popular steampunk in popular steampunk genre that the authors refer to it as gaslight fantasy. I remember Girl Genius, at least seeing it. I don't remember any of the details, but I know that one of my sisters enjoyed Girl Genius. Yes, and the moving castle itself is very much steampunk too. Yes, it is. All right, so we're going to end it here tonight so I can give my voice a rest. Tomorrow we're going to be doing the proper live stream. And just as a reminder, I already posted about this today, and I'm going to bring it up again tomorrow. But next week, the live stream is going to be on a different day, just so that way I have the chance to do it next week, while also making time for people who are graduating, because my niece is graduating from one of my nieces is graduating from high school, and I'll be there for that. So no live stream next Friday. So all right, everyone. I hope that you have an excellent night, day, morning, wherever you are at. And thank you so much for joining me for this little stream. And until the next time, y'all, tschüss.